Ephraim, you guys get the split on a tough barn in Medicine Hat. Just how much confidence does that give you guys?
Yeah, it gives us a ton. They're a real good squad over there, and I think especially playing in Med Hat, it's tough to win. That was I don't know if it was completely sold out, but it was real close, and they're loud, they're rowdy, they're a great fan base. So I think going in this series, if we could say we were going to be 1-1 after the first two, we would have taken that for sure.
Take me through your goal to get you guys out in front on Saturday night, and then it doesn't stand as a game winner, but it was a big goal. Then you kind of give it back to the fans as well.
Yeah, that group of four guys down there on the glass were kind of going at it in the first period and in the second as well, and puck kind of squirted out in the wall and wrapped around the net and found a hole upstairs, and I knew I knew where I was going as soon as I scored it right to those boys. So yeah, it felt good. Rub it in them a bit, and they were giving it to some of our guys too. Matty P was getting booed all game, so yeah, that was nice to get that one.
So it probably felt good, going into a hostile environment to kind of shut up a crowd base like that and pull up a victory as well.
Yeah, I think when the fans are so good, they're so rowdy, I think kind of getting back at them after a goal like that, I think it can take some momentum out of their team too. Their fans are getting it kind of put to them, and so are they. So yeah, I think it can kind of go both ways. The fans are getting shut down, and the team is a bit. So.
I know that you shouldn't dwell on the lows of playoffs and you shouldn't ride the highs too long. How long did you take, or have you stopped resetting towards Game 3?
Yeah, I think I got to be really quick regardless of the outcome. After that loss in the first game, I thought we played some pretty good hockey, and not getting the outcome we wanted, you got to kind of just refresh even after a win. You can have some fun on the bus on the way home and enjoy it for a couple hours, but after that, you got to reset, make sure you're recovered and ready for the next game, because we know they're going to come out absolutely flying in Game 3.
How much do you have to personally prove that you can be a leader and lead this team to where they want to go?
I don't really look at it in that sense. I don't think I need to really prove anything. I think I just want to help the guys out. I'm not really worried about my game per se. I'll play my game and hope to play some good hockey. But I think it's more about the other guys and the young guys who lack that playoff experience, and I think just kind of helping them out in different areas, whether it's on the ice, off the ice, recovery based, anything I can do. I think that's kind of the biggest thing for me.
So tell me how you get set then for Game 3. Do you look at Medicine Hat more, or are you more looking at what you've done so far?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think we've pre-scouted them a lot. It's always tough to say what they're going to do. We've seen them twice. We've seen their plays. Some really high-skilled set plays and stuff in the first two games. But I think they'll try and change something. They'll maybe throw something else at us, or know that Game 2 it wasn't working for them, and maybe they'll switch something up, maybe switch their lines up, and we try to worry about that, but I mean, you can only do so much in the playoffs. So I think really it's about our game and focusing on what we can do, regardless of what they throw.
Willie said after Saturday night's loss that you guys are hungrier than them right now. Are you expecting a big push come games, especially Game 3, but Game 4 as well?
Yeah, we are for sure. They're a real good team, and getting popped like that's never fun, especially in the playoffs. They're a heavy favorite, and knowing that we were able to, honestly dominate them for a pretty good chunk of that game is deflating for them. Willie's a great coach, and he has those guys pretty dialed in, and I know he'll be pushing, and so will their leadership.
How hard is it to not get frustrated through the course of a game when you guys maybe get one opportunity, but then it fizzles out, and then you keep facing that sustained pressure from a really good hockey team? Is it hard to get frustrated, or is it easy to get frustrated, or how hard is it to deal with that just in the course of a game?
Yeah, it is. It's easy to get frustrated for sure. You look at them and how kind of locked down they are. If you miss one prime opportunity or one grade A scoring chance, it might not come for a period maybe, or two periods, or maybe the rest of the game, honestly. So, early in the season playing some other teams, if you miss a chance, you're going to have more of that period, maybe more of that shift. But with them, the holes are a lot smaller, and it's just we're not able to capitalize, and it's crucial.
Did going through the environment of Medicine Hat help you guys at all, knowing that, hey, now you get to come home and you guys have already kind of dealt with the roars of the crowd and things like that, but now they're behind you?
It is, yeah. I think lots of guys kind of love it. They kind of like being the underdog, especially starting there. They're so rowdy and kind of against us, and I think guys can kind of feed off that. But it's always much easier to feed off your own crowd and how much they love us. I'm hoping for a great crowd, and I know our fans are real rowdy too. And them kind of getting their first taste of playoffs in the first couple of years should be a good atmosphere for sure.
There's been a lot of extracurricular stuff. In fact, when I was talking with Ken Schneider after the game, One, he said it's a long series, so you have to have them in their zone as far as hitting them, little cross checks, things like that. Have you seen some chippiness in this series so far?
I have for sure, yeah. It's easy to look at. There's been some long games already, and after every whistle, there's a little scrum or just something happening. So, yeah, it's tough. You look at a team like them, they're so skilled, but they do have a lot of grit as well, and they'll battle for sure. So, yeah, I've definitely seen some of that. There's, maybe some extra chirping or some stuff like that, but they're trying to get under our skin, but I think it's even more important for us to get under theirs. So,
Just to piggyback on Donovan's question, he talks about the hunger the coach Desjardins identified that you guys had. How hungry are you?
yeah, we're real hungry. We have to be. We don't really have any other choice. It's pretty simple that we can't outskill a team like that, and we know that. So does Medicine Hat. So I think relying on work ethic and system play and again just being hungry is what we need to do. We don't really have another option.
Just want to ask quickly about your goaltender and his play on Saturday night. Schlanger played amazing. Just what did you see out of him?
Yeah, I saw some great saves for sure. That huge one when he dove across was incredible. A couple of huge saves that, again, it makes those guys frustrated. Those high point guys. Getting a big save is so deflating for them, and doing it time and time again. They had a few chances, and Schlanger kept shutting the door, and that's just something that they get frustrated with, and it takes away from their game for sure.
But he gave you guys a lot of credit getting out in front of shots, and then at other times, letting him see the puck. Just when he's playing so well behind you, how is that? Does that make it easier to get in front of one, or give you guys more confidence to try and help him out a little bit more?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I think regardless, we're always going to be there for him, but I think it is maybe a little bit easier when he's playing so well. We're trying to help him out, and even it's a team game, but him playing so well, it's personal for him too. We want to help his personal stats and stuff as well, but yeah, that's tough. We always want to help him, but when he's playing so well, it's a little extra.
Going back to Medicine Hat, heard you got a lot of boos. How did that feel for you?
Yeah, I know I wasn't really too focused on it, but it's a part of the game. You're gonna get booed when you're in a away barn, and it's playoff hockey. It's gonna happen. So, don't take any. I didn't take it to heart at all or anything like that, but just tried to play my game and help our team win.
Probably felt good to shut him up at the end too and get the victory.
Yeah, no, it was a good one to get the win. We had a good game, and hopefully we can carry it into game 2.
Talk about the play of your goaltender on Saturday night. Schlenker played amazing. Just what did you see out of him?
Yeah, no, Schlenks has been great. He's such a hard worker, and he cares so much about his game, and he's such a good goalie, and it's so fun to see him out there when he's playing at his best.
How much confidence does that give you as a defenseman, as a teammate, and he actually gave you guys all the credit for diving on in front of shots and things like that. So just how much confidence does that give you guys?
Yeah, a ton of confidence. Usually as a D-man, you feel like you're the last wall of defense kind of thing, but with Schlank's back there, he's such a good goaltender, and he makes these crazy saves that I don't even know how he does it sometimes. But it gives me a ton of confidence, especially to go try and make plays. That's a thing for us. We want to make plays, and we have the confidence in Schlanks, back there, and Tabby as well, and that we can make plays.
What did you see on his diving stop there? I don't know if you were on the ice or on the bench, but just what did you say? What did you see on that one?
Yeah, that was that's insane. That's total buy-in and total sellout from our guys there. And Schlanks and Dace were both diving, and yeah, it was such a great play.
I thought it was interesting. Coach said post game that we put him in, and I told him to shove it up my ass. I wanted him to prove himself. Do you guys have something to prove to yourselves each and every night? And is that what the coaching staff challenges you to do?
Yeah, I think every night there's something to prove. Whether it's just proving it to yourself, proving it to others. I think there's always something on the line to prove, and I think this series, we want to be the underdog. We want to come out on top, and we want to work as hard as we can, and we want to upset the Tigers. Defending champs, they're a great team over there, and we want to upset them.
How excited are you to get that home crowd now after, especially the way you were?
Yeah, no, it's huge to get that home crowd. We're back here at home. We're always good at home, and it's such a good feeling playing in front of this great crowd, and we have such great fans, and it's super exciting to play in front of them.
Just to follow up on the prove it question, is that an unspoken thing in the dressing room, or do guys openly say, "Hey, let's prove them wrong"?
Yeah, I think, you know, we got nothing to lose. You know, they're a great team over there, and you know they got a lot of skill, and you know I think we got a lot of skill in our room too. But I think we just got to work hard. We got to outwork them, and you know we got to win our battles and block shots and do the unseen things that you know no one really sees, but you know it helps our team win.
All right, Zach, you get the split. You'd have probably liked to win too, but tell me about the weekend overall in Medicine Hat.
Yeah, I mean, I think we played a real solid game. I mean, it was probably our best performance as a group all year, and you know, we won the second game, but even the first game, I thought we were right there with it. Just got unlucky with a few bounces in the second, but no, our group's really grown over the last week, and I feel like it's shown the last two games.
You're up against a team that averages 5.1 goals for per game. Obviously, you've got to think about defense, but you can't only think about defense. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, our defensive play has to be well, and you know that comes with gaining lines and gaining zones, and you know our goalies have been real solid the last second half here and then into playoffs, and you know they're really reliable and helping our offense produce. So,
tell me about your goal and what it meant at the time that it came in.
Yeah, I mean it was good, just a relief to you know score early in the playoffs, and it was a big one, opener. But yeah, I mean just getting in on the forecheck, and you know it put our team in the lead early, and you know I think that helped us throughout the game.
You're down to 10 forwards at one point. How difficult is that mentally, physically, after back-to-back nights and in the postseason?
Yeah, it's definitely tough and not ideal. You know, with some injuries, but you know everyone's stuck with it and being positive, and you know just worrying about your next shift and your next play, and I think that's what helped us in the game.
How big was back checking for you guys? I mean, the defense and Merrick played amazing as well.
Yeah, like I said, our goalie's been really good the second half, and you know the whole week of practice is working on tracking and studying Medhat and what they do, and you know that's really helped us in the game, and it shows, and you know props to our group to study that stuff, but yeah, that's what we've been focusing on, and it's been working. So
Has it been hard to not get frustrated because Medicine Hat is such a good team that you know it seems like they're always pressing on the offensive side, and you have to admit you guys maybe haven't got as many chances that you guys maybe want, but also how hard is it to sustain that momentum when you get it because you're going up against such a
yeah, it's definitely a little frustrating, but I mean we're playing with house money, so I mean we got nothing to lose, so we're going at it with you know everything we've got, and taking it shift by shift, and it's trying not to focus too much about the bad things, because like I said, they're a really good team, and we're giving it all we got. So
Zach, earlier last week, before the playoffs started, Craig Budden actually ranked you as the number 61 ranked prospect for this year's NHL draft. This is your last opportunity to potentially show the NHL scouts here in the postseason what you're made of. I mean, how much more does that motivate you going into the NHL draft?
yeah, it's obviously really cool and really rewarding, but I mean, I feel like it just shows the work that I put in, and I kind of take it you know as I can and not focus about it too much. I mean, we got a big playoff series here, and yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of work ahead of me and a lot of time left, so I try not to worry about it too much and just take it day by day.
You've proven that you can get the job done in the regular season. How big is it to you to prove that you can do it in the postseason?
Yeah, really big. I mean, at the end of the day, regular season doesn't matter. It's about how you play in the playoffs, and that's where the games really matter. So, like I said, just taking it day by day and shift by shift, and trying to stay as positive as I can. And you know, our group's been really solid the last few games, and you know, if we're going to keep playing the way we're playing, we're gonna really do well this series. So.
If you listen to Coach or you listen to Dale talking, whatever the case might be, they say this is a learning opportunity for our team. What have you learned in 2 games?
Yeah, definitely a lot. I mean, you know, our group has not a lot of playoff experience, and going into Medhat has been a big jump for a lot of us, but it's just cliche, but it's faster, it's bigger, it's stronger. You know, everything matters, from the little details that, you know, people might not realize in the regular season, to gaining a blue line or little chip, or you know, a 35-second shift if it helps the next line get out there. So it's the little things that, you know, you don't really take into consideration in the regular season, but those are the things that really matters in the playoffs.
how big has emotion management been since Saturday night then to get yourselves set for Tuesday? Because obviously you don't want to ride the highs and lows of momentum.
Yeah, I mean, in the playoffs, there's going to be a lot of highs and lows, and you know, everyone's pretty pumped. You know, it's my first time ever beating Medicine Hat, so I'm pretty fired up. But you know, we got them tomorrow, so it's just a quick reset and get back to work come tomorrow.